Hello, everybody. Welcome to the March. Yeah, I did a quick double take. I'm like, April? April? There's so much April on the screen. I was like, oh, it must be the April one. No, not yet. Holy cow. They just blur together. Hello. Sorry about the holdup. I was chatting with my mom real quick, figuring out some of this weekend stuff. But welcome to, oh my God, I was going to cut my hair yesterday and then stuff changed. I've got it's awful because if I try to tuck it behind this hat, it just gives me kind of like a mullet look, which I know is in some areas the thing right now, but I don't know. Not really around here. I don't think I would look good with a mullet at all. Holy shit. That'd be a bad time, I think. There are certain people who could absolutely pull it off. I'm not one of those people. Turn down my mic a little bit. Looked like I was a little bit hot. There we go. Yeah, cool. All right, nice. But yeah, welcome. God. I apologize for things this week being so scrambled. I had some stuff going on with work that was way more intense than normal, so it's kind of diverted a little bit more of my attention than I would like. At the very least, there will be a Soul Silver episode going up tomorrow. I expect, worst case Sunday, but should be going up tomorrow, and then next week I think we'll be back to normal in terms of having regular daily stuff going on. But yeah, it was just kind of a bummer because I've been trying to get stuff in this week, and it's been a bad week, and I don't want to go into too far in the weeds down this direction, but I was not expecting to be so emotionally affected by the stuff that went down this week in Somerville. So we used to live there. We used to live not just in the city, but the first of my two apartments in that city was 2 blocks away from where stuff went down. And that is so not the neighborhood that you would expect something like that to be happening in. The city itself is usually very high on the list of most hipster liberal cities in the country. It actually has beaten out Northampton and on the other side of the country, or on the other side of the country, but Portland. I always mix up Portland, Oregon, Portland, Maine, but so not really the kind of place where that stuff happens. And it's apparently happened multiple times this week, according to stuff from the city council that I was following the other night. So that was a little bit intense, and it certainly fucked up my my ability to really focus on anything, especially silly haha jokes. So apologies that stuff has been a little bit slow. We will be getting back to normal, and I'm looking forward to keeping on going with stuff. We actually do have a lot of stuff recorded and in the can right now. Less so with Pokemon. Well, I mean, not. I should clarify. Less so with Heart Gold, Soul Silver. We have a little bit more of that recorded. So we'll have to see if we can get some more of that going. We might be recording some more this weekend, actually. But we'll see. I guess I may as well start getting into just stuff we've been up to. Zelda's back. Kind of a sluggish restart to that. Apologies again, but yeah, Zelda's back. Sarah and I recorded a whole bunch of it. We've got the entire Zora chunk in the can. Hello, C-Dude. Hello. And also hello to Alex Britt and the Golix as well. Yeah, no, we recorded some more Echoes of Wisdom. We've got a bunch of that. We probably have a good week and a half or so, I think, of Echoes of Wisdom. I feel like so this thing is kind of, the hood is very hiked up, so it gives me it makes me look like I'm sitting like this, all hunched up, which is not the case, but camera's also very high up. Let me see if I can. That's a little better. Yeah. Oh yeah, right over my shoulder. That we'll do it this way. Is the controller I'm playing Persona with now. Oh my god, it's weirdly distracting to try to do this backwards. It's with the 30th anniversary one. It's pretty. It's pretty. Sure is a PlayStation controller. It sure is a controller for a PlayStation family console. Uh, Hopefully the water area treated Sarah nice. I would say so. It was actually pretty straightforward. There were like 2 spots where we got a little bit stuck, but in both cases it was just, in one case we kind of flipped a coin and flipped wrong, and in the other case we didn't realize that there was more to do than what we had done. The dungeon was actually extremely straightforward. The dungeons, so we've done 3 now, and we kind of noticed the dungeons feel like they're getting easier each time, and I don't know if that's just because we're getting used to the mechanics of the game, or if they are like just not getting harder. I don't know. Like, granted, the second and third ones you can do in either order, I think, so it wouldn't, it would make sense for them to not necessarily be way harder from one to the other, but yeah, I'm interested to see, now that we've done 3, I'm curious what the big twist is going to be, because I'm sure there's going to be one. That's just kind of how Zelda games work. You do 3 things, you go to a central location, and then something happens, and it changes the nature of the game in some kind of way. So, getting used to it. Dungeons are praised for their creativity. I think more than their danger. I suppose that's fair. It's a little tricky when it comes to top-down. Top-down Zelda games are a little bit difficult in that regard because it's so easy for them to all feel kind of the same. We haven't gotten there yet in videos that have been released, but the swimming through sideways rivers and stuff was a very nice touch. That was a very fun thing to have in there. I'll be honest, that's kind of the only especially memorable part of it to me. Other than the fact that there's just a lot of water, We're going to be better equipped. That's true. We have better echoes to use. We have better just equipment in general. Anytime we use the sword fighter mode, we can do that too. There's a lot of exploration stuff you could have seen but didn't too, I suppose, but there's also so much... there's also only so much, like, I know that at some point... Thank you.
We're trying to do story and exploring.
Yeah, we're trying to do story and exploring, says Sarah, but also, like, we don't have the ability to go into rifts yet, so it's kind of slowing us down on the, like, wanting to go way out of our way to explore. I think once we have the ability to go into rifts, we'll be a lot more... down for just really digging deep on that. Also, yes, what's that? Yeah, not sure we're going to get that. I'm kind of half expecting that to be part of the mid-game twist, but the water blocks are phenomenal. Those I can see being a huge, huge help, considering it's just straight up 4 blocks of vertical height that you can give yourself in any scenario, which is great. Or as a bridge too, which is also very useful because sometimes some of those bed stairs don't always work out quite the way you'd expect them to. There was one other thing that was in there that was really useful, and I forget what. Oh, I think we got a shark echo, and the shark was like really, really good. Yeah, we've got a solid bird echo, we've got a solid fish echo, and we've got a solid ground echo. Oh, and the bonus for beating the dungeon is wonderful, too. Holy shit. I was expecting something very different. Yes, we got the bombfish. Oh, sorry, yes. The bombfish is the one I was actually thinking of as, the most useful thing that's there. I was fully expecting we were going to get bombs as part of our sword fighter kit. I was not expecting us to get biological bomb creatures. So that was kind of an interesting one. As long as blocks are touching a surface, like, for instance, the wall of a dungeon, they won't dissipate. Yeah, yes. That we did notice. So long as they're touching something, then they will do what they need to do. Which is good, because I feel like there's a few creative ways you could scale walls without touching the ground using that. So that could be pretty interesting. But yeah, no, it's been going well. I'm excited to keep going with that. We've done a lot more episodes than I thought we had. I think we're up to episode like 40. That can't be right. Let me check. I can check right now. I think I'm thinking of Shadow, and that's also not right. 43 was one of our more recent ones. 32. We got 32 episodes. Crawlchula is really good for arbitrarily getting up walls of any height as long as there's no enemies around. Yeah, we haven't really messed with the Crawlchula yet. I think we will probably start doing that soon. I think we also weren't sure if it needed like a web to be able to like do stuff or something, but apologies, I'm going to eat a little bit while we do this just because there's not going to be a ton of time in between. Borgies. My lips are also very dry right now, so shout out whenever I inevitably crack my lip. It's going to happen. No, I usually, at the very least, I'll usually like hang out back there if I'm going to chew and stuff. But yeah, Zelda's going good. When Echoes of Wisdom is done, we're going to be getting back into the Reawakens games. We have a whole list, including one or two that I think people are going to be surprised by. And it's going to be very funny when we get there, too, because the games have been planned out for a little while now. And some elements of that are going to be much, much funnier in hindsight. And as for the streams, because we're also doing those, Ocarina, I need a shorthand. There's so many descriptors. Ocarina of Time, multi-world item and entrance randomizer, parentheses with bonus pots and crates, is going pretty well as well. We're, I think, right around 20 hours right now. And right at the end of the stream, Shad found my slingshot, which let me finish the Deku Tree, and it's going to let me do the entirety of Jabu Jabu's Belly. So there's going to be... I think the biggest bummer is I want to say Jabu Jabu's Belly does not have... Oh, no, I guess it's got a decent number of checks, actually. Master Quest might be better for it than the original. I have Epona Song, but I don't have the left Ocarina button, so I still can't play it. So I have to remember to go back there at some point because there's a cow in there. There's a bonus cow in Master Quest. Yeah, Pot Sanity is interesting. I think the biggest bummer for it is that there are no trackers that give you any info on it. Honestly, I would be tempted to just sit through and watch and literally make my own map if that was ever going to be a thing to happen again. Not because I would want to be like, okay, get this spot, that, but just because, like, if you miss some somewhere, it's hard to tell that you missed some. The biggest trick is in dungeons. You got to make sure to be looking around a lot in dungeons. More so as an adult, the actual temples definitely have more in the way of pots and crates. I actually don't know if any of the temples have crates, but a bunch of them have pots. And so that's a thing to watch out for there. So many items in other worlds just end up being blue rupees and shit like that. Yeah, that is the other thing. Like, it does mean a lot more junk. And I don't know what a good... Because the goal, Shad was actually very, very intent on making this as difficult as possible, which, like, I'm down for, too. There were definitely a few things that we were on the fence for, and he was like, let's do it. Let's add it on. I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, it does mean there's a lot of junk that's in there. Which, on the other hand, can be helpful if there's useful stuff in the shops. Having rupees that you're picking up recurring, like, constantly throughout is pretty useful. It would be nice if there were faster ways to guarantee a wallet upgrade, but alas. One of the important choices with the Ocarina buttons, sort of as a side thing, it's actually a thing there, was we had to decide whether the Door of Time was open automatically or not. And we realized that if we didn't make it open by default, then that would force at least one ocarina and three of the five buttons, the left. Oh God, which one is it? Is it left A down? Or is it right A down? Whichever three it is. Those ones would have to be on the child side of things, and pretty quickly, left is lower than right. I thought left was higher. You might be right. Oh, I think you're right, actually. Yeah. But so it would force it to be on the child side of things, and also would have to be much more quickly obtainable. Like it couldn't be necessarily. I guess it could necessarily be anywhere on the child side, but for a fact that those four drops in particular are all on the child side. With the Door of Time open, it means that they could be anywhere, literally anywhere in either game. Oh, interesting. Left is higher. That was what I thought. I thought it went up, left, right, down, A. But so, yeah, the biggest things that I still need in order to actually get to the end, obviously, we need to get the light arrows for both of us. We need to get magic for Shad. Shad still doesn't have magic. Been playing for 20 hours and he doesn't have magic, and he doesn't have his own Kokiri sword. So as a kid, he's got to rely on like sticks and bombs and shit to do any damage. I think he has his boomerang now. I don't know if he has a slingshot yet. But obviously, aside from the light arrows, like I need my long shot. I need the Song of Storms, goddammit. I need to actually get at. There's two dungeons I still can't even get to. One because I don't have Iron Boots, and one because I don't have the Song of Storms. I'm hit or miss on the guaranteed swords. Like the randomizer should be making sure you have some means of attacking, not necessarily permanent. Like it could be sticks and bombs and shit. But did you ever figure something out about the freaking hammer? No, it is so ungodly close, but I believe I will need the long shot to actually get it, which is such a fucking bummer. It's devastating, and I know it's mine too because Shad already has his. And yeah, there's no way that it seems like the boomerang and the hook shot have the same distance, the same limit, and they both stop agonizingly close to the spot there. I could arguably use a few different little tricks to reach out and get it, like literal glitches. But I'm trying really hard to not do that unless we're sure that like we're in BK territory, which Shad might be. Shad seems like he might actually be BK'd at this point. So the hammer is in the water temple. On the path to Dark Link, there's that room with the two slanted water surfaces, and the gold sculptula that is up on the wall has the hammer. And I can shoot it with a bow. I actually found it first as Child Link, so I hit it with something else. Oh, I hit it with bomb shoes. And if you stand literally on the last possible pixel of the surface of the platform that's there, then the boomerang will get right up to it and then shoot and like go into the wall right at the last second. I've tried doing like, all right, if I aim a little to the right, can I like catch it on the way there? But it seems like it does move 90 degrees, which would mean that it's not going to do that. And like immediately starts turning around. It's so painful. It's so goddamn painful. Because I could do the entire, well, minus keys, but I could do the whole fire temple at that point. There are a few tricks you can do that will either cause you to skid backwards over a decent distance. In which case, I figure if I get close enough, I might be able to Z target it, since it's a you can Z target the whatever is dropped by Gold Skulltulas. Or I think with Infinite Sword Glitch, or maybe it's a variant of it. There are things that keep you from actually falling off of edges, and I think you either get a little bit more distance or something. I forget what it does. I forget if you can stand still a little further out. But if I did that, then I could reach it also. But yeah, I at least know where it is, which is nice. But it's so damn irritating. Oh, the tracker sucks too. It's a real bummer. Both Chad and I are kind of disappointed with it. It's so weird because it seems like, for one, there's a counter for shops and grottos and cow grottos and all this stuff, and I'm like, it doesn't do anything other than be a counter, and counting them doesn't really do us any favors, so I really don't understand what the fucking point is. And also, like, there are checks that will not show up on the map. Don't know why. They won't show up on the map when you've got certain pieces of the rules set certain ways. And the entrance tracker is also like weird and like contrived and convoluted. I honestly wish that I had time to build my own, because I would just fork the existing one and like tweak things so that I could just not have to worry about it. It's basically what I did with for the very best, for Pokemon the very best. I built my own tracker inside of PokeLink. Uses all the same hooks, but it does a bunch of different stuff with it. It does actual stat calculations in a way that the normal tracker just doesn't even bother to try. So I was like, all right, that works. We're probably going to have another one of those, if not two, next week, actually. It's been a little bit tricky getting stuff to settle down, but we're just about there. But yeah, so that's where Zelda's at. I got a lot of fun stuff in store for Zelda, especially because, not that we already haven't had two like fond farewells to it already, but this is kind of one last little curtain call in the style of like the Mega Let's Play post game, where it's like, okay, here's some stuff that's not necessarily Zelda, but it's close. For one reason or another, or directly inspired another one or something. Like there's some fun stuff in there. Speaking of the Mega Let's Play, this will be a short one. No real news on either front for that. Still working on the big video. It's starting to get some motion behind it, which is good. I'm hoping to have it out this spring. It could get into the summer. I hope it doesn't. And then we can finally get back to it. I really wasn't intending this to block stuff, but I don't know. I would also rather be focusing on this rather than pushing the rest of the series forward and then kind of swinging back to this. Because I tried doing that with two other things, and neither of those two things ever happened. So I want to avoid that happening. As for Star Force, we're on pause right now with that. We're gonna wait for Jeff to get back. We're not gonna like coordinate on like remote stuff for that, I don't think. So sometime in May, I believe, we'll probably be getting back into it. And we're moving very well through the post game. It is going quickly. I'm curious if things are gonna go, or if things are gonna swerve into another direction. And but otherwise, like, yeah, it's nice to see it kind of winding down a little bit. It's been a grand old time. Um, I am interested in the network games too, so maybe we'll give those a look. I gotta see what the state of those is right now. I think they've got like a fan translation at this point too. So I don't know. Um, but the Mega Let's Play pretty much on hold on all fronts right now. We'll be back. All right. I mean, I'm down for that. Sonic. Supersonic Let's Play. Shadow Generations. We have recorded the rest of Shadow Generations. It is done. And we will be moving on from there sometime in the next like 2-ish weeks, I think. But we did clear everything out. We got everything. And yeah, there's a couple rather long episodes coming up. Uh, mostly for gallery reasons. We checked out the gallery and like we're looking through stuff there. So there's some long ones, but they're pretty like little informative kind of vignettes and things, and also the kind of debrief and all of that stuff too. But it'll be nice to be getting back into slightly older Sonic, mid decade, start of the century Sonic. That will be nice. Let me take a look at some stuff here. My mom is also texting me right now. We did that. Kind of dove into that real quick. I guess we could talk about Pokemon in general too. But yeah, Insurgents is kind of on pause at the moment because we've got Heart Gold, Soul Silver videos. The way that I was saying before is Insurgents, we're going to have basically anytime we don't have Heart Gold and Soul Silver, we're going to have Insurgents to keep both of those moving as best we can. Insurgents, we're back on our feet again, amazingly. Like, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but my F team is somehow actually performing against all odds. I was not anticipating. I was fully expecting to get like 1 or 2 more episodes in, and that was going to be it. I was genuinely expecting that the last week that we did was going to be the end of the actual Nuzlocke. But we're still in it. After 150 episodes, we are still in it. We're still alive, which is incredible. And that's the thing. Yeah, I think the cobwebs have come off. There weren't a lot of ways to avoid that in the run-up, unfortunately. Like, it was always going to be a little bit tricky getting back into it. I even joked about it many times over the years that I was going to get back in and get my ass immediately kicked. But yeah, no, we're back in it. I'm trying to be good about actually checking on stuff. I'm trying to be better about stats. I'm trying to be better about abilities. Obviously, stuff is still going to come out of nowhere and kick my ass, but I'll feel far better about losing this thing over completely unpredictable bullshit compared with stuff that is very normal in a Pokemon game. So we'll see how that goes. But at the very least, there's now officially 150 or more to see of Pokemon Insurgents. Team Rick. New hard mode hack called Emerald Imperium. Trying to do Mono Bug Run, but Max 8 Mount Chimney is kicking my ass. Oh, geez. Yeah, I could see that being a bit of a problem. That's kind of the trick. I wish that there were more. I'm sure there are, but I do wish there were more Pokemon. Like, Insurgents was intended to be harder. Like, that was the goal for them from the start. But I do wish there were more hacks that were meant to just be another Pokemon. Like, not trying to make it super easy or super hard. Just like, we're aiming for, like, roughly a Pokemon experience. Maybe with some quality of life improvements here or there. Since the Pokemon Company kind of struggles with that. But it feels like there's always someone trying to do some intense difficulty rebalancing, and it's just like, come on, let me just play another Pokemon game. Ability to do a Rainbow of Emerald Fire with all mounts up to Gen 9. Yeah, that'd be fun. It's going to be Gen 2 very, very soon. I guess not very soon. I suspect we're not going to hear about it until the 30th anniversary. I'm trying to think. Was Diamond and Pearl the 10th anniversary? I'm trying to remember if they did like a 10th anniversary one. 20th would have been around. What would that have been? That would have been around Sword and Shield, I think. No, that would have been a little before Sword and Shield. Would that have been Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for the 20th? Jesus. Diamond Pearl was 10. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. 2017 would have been. Oh, yeah, wait, no. 2017 was the year the Switch came out. So that would have been Normal Sun and Moon for 20. Okay. Yeah, I was getting there. I was just like, whoa, hang on a second. I've done some bad math. So I didn't get a third XY, which it's. I like the new model better. I like the DLC format better. But like X and Y in particular was absolutely like designed with a Z in mind. For sure. There is so much left on the floor. And so many like obvious hallmarks of, well, yeah, maybe you'll learn some more about this soon. And then nothing. It's like, come on. So like maybe the idea is that Pokemon Legends ZA is kind of filling in for that a little bit. Maybe it's going to, because we know that Zygarde, 10% is wandering around, right? So maybe we'll see. Maybe they will take some of those pieces that they had planned for Z and put them there. It'd be kind of nice. I mean, I don't know how I feel about the. I think they did show cells too. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the trainer thing. They're like, oh, you start at rank Z and go all the way to rank A, and it's just like. I get that they're trying to make it feel distinct from Legends Arceus by focusing on trainer battles more than wild battles and wild catches. Although there's still plenty of wild catches. I'm sure there's plenty of wild battles too. But like, it definitely is kind of it's a little rough to be like, all right, time to climb 25 ranks by doing just a crazy amount of Pokemon battles. I hope that there are ways to jump a little further than one at a time, or that it's not as long as it feels like it's going to be. Because I'm sure that the only way, because the whole thing, right? Rank A is probably going to be some kind of post game thing. Because they also mentioned in the trailer, like, oh, legends say that rank A gets a wish granted. And it's like that is such an Arceus style like. Oh, you have to catch all the Pokemon, and then you can come see me. And this one's like, oh, you have to beat all the trainers, and then you can come see me. Find the ZA thing to be a little fun as a wordplay bit. You mean in terms of like the, in terms of like the Pokemon Z? I feel like people have kind of assumed that A is still kind of referring to Arceus, not necessarily literally, but. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, if they had, you know what? I bet if they're smart, they will have a rank question mark and exclamation point, but not for the player, for like weird trainers that aren't supposed to be part of this or something. That'd be great. Rank question mark trainer, Team Rainbow Rocket Giovanni. Rank exclamation point Arceus. Be amazing. But we'll see. Yeah, my assumption. Did they? I think they said holiday 2025. So it's gonna be their November game. I hope for their sake that they don't announce. I mean, I guess they probably fucking will. Why wouldn't they? I'm hoping that they aren't going to announce Gen 10 in February and then wait till all the way in November to release it next year. They used to do a lot of July releases back in the earlier days. It'd be great if they did that again. Um, it feels weird because like there's a part of me that's like with both Gen 10 and Legend ZA, it's like to my knowledge, Pokemon has never been a launch title, and I cannot imagine a bigger immediate system seller than a Pokemon launch title for the successor to the Switch. Like instant just money printing, infinite money, biggest launch weekend in the history of games. Like it would be unstoppable. The only main game that released in June was Black and White 2. I was thinking July, but I don't know if that's any different, to be honest. But yeah, no, I'm amazed that Legend ZA is going to be a November release as opposed to almost all of them in September, October, November. All right, fair enough. I don't know if I was looking at different regions or anything too, but I suppose if we're going off of like first only for sure. But yeah, I don't know. It surprises me that it feels sometimes like the Pokemon company just does whatever the fuck it wants to do and does not pay attention to anything else. Which like fair dues, I guess, but launch title. So which does suggest to me that they do have a plan as far as launch window stuff to hit hard. I'm sure Mario Kart 9 is going to be, or whatever it is, Mario Kart World Tour or something is going to be the main launch title. And what the Switch 1 did that was very, very smart was that for first and second party, mostly first party releases, the major ones, they had like a major release at most every 6 months, usually more like every 4 months. But you had, Breath of the Wild, you had Mario Odyssey, you had Kirby and the Forgotten Land. You could arguably count like Sonic Mania and Mega Man 11 as convenient huge sellers as well. Maybe not huge sellers for Mega Man, but obviously Pokemon games too. There were a lot of like big hits, and they were very carefully like doled out. So if they do Mario Kart 9, yeah, notable game for sure. Yeah, I was thinking of like the big huge hitters, but you're totally right. Yeah, they usually try to make sure there's something coming. There's always something about to come out, which is good. That's a smart marketing strategy. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's gonna be like, all right, launch in say June or July, and that's Mario Kart 9, and then in November it's Pokemon Legends, and then in February there's Metroid Prime. Or actually, Metroid Prime is coming this year too, isn't it? Did we actually get a date for that? I don't remember. So Metroid Prime 4 is probably going to be, if they're smart, if it's not going to be a launch title. Oh, I guess it's not, because it is a Switch 1 game. So is Legends, to be fair. But they're part of the Switch family. It's going to be looped in with that. But my assumption is Mario Kart 9 as a launch title, Metroid Prime 4 in like the fall, like September, and then Legends in November would be a pretty good staggered set of stuff there, I think. But we will see Wednesday morning. Yeah, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. We have a couple more episodes recorded. We will probably record some more this weekend. Brilliant Diamond. We're doing. Oh yes, I saw that there were murmurs of a Kirby Planet Robobot remake. At this point, unless it's going to be some Switch 2 specific thing, then I don't see that getting announced until July around, or June, July around E3. It's still E3 time to me. It's hard to think of it after like 30 years as not being E3, but summertime. I'm curious what the rumors are based on, but I even with the Nintendo Direct happening this past week, I still put very little stock in rumors. There's just tons of extra, stuff going, but probably with a Susie extra mode of some kind the way they've been going. Yeah, I guess it would have to be, right? Because didn't there was a meta nightmare already in the game, wasn't there? Yeah, because that's how you fight Dark Matter and Queen Sectonia and Galactonite and stuff. So yeah, it'd probably be either a Susie mode or hell, it could be a DDD mode. That's true. That was right. There was the Magalore mode for that, so Susie would make sense. Magalore mode we did do. We did do Magalore mode. That was part of what had it slow for all is because we were waiting for 4 of us to be there. But yes, we did do the Magalore epilogue. Meta Knight and Robobot. I'm pretty sure we did that too. I mean, I've never played Robobot before what we did for the channel. I think we waited until we came back around to it in the timeline. But we did do Meta Knight in Robobot because I distinctly remember reacting to the various enemies that came out for that, and I thought that was kind of cute. We haven't done like the arena or any of that stuff. Actually, is it on here? I can find out. Yeah, the true arena we didn't touch at all. Everything else is like a little bonus thing. That's probably going to be a fairly small series in the grand scheme of things. When we come back to it for streams. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Oh my god. Speaking of that, the Nightmare streams will be returning very soon. I think what we're going to do, because my original thought was, all right, when Persona's done, we have one stream of Dragon Quest to wrap that up, and then we'll do Smash. But I don't know how many streams we're going to have of Persona. I really don't know. We're in new territory. We're in the golden epilogue, or the golden final chapter, or whatever you want to call that. But I don't know how many streams that'll be. We'll play it by ear because my thought was I'll follow that up with Smash, and I've got something in store to follow up the Ocarina streams. And I don't want to hold up Brawl anymore. So what might happen is if the Ocarina streams wrap up notably before the Persona ones can, then maybe I'll just get back into Brawl there. I'll do Dragon Quest when Persona is done. Or maybe I'll do Dragon Quest there and then I'll do Brawl the week after that or something. And then the other thing will come on Mondays when Persona's done or something. But I think we'll probably just make sure that we can get back to Brawl as quickly as we can without forcing it, right? But, we'll get there fast. Surely Persona 4 didn't invent the golden ending term, but it feels all too appropriate. Oh, yeah, no, golden ending I think has been a thing since like the 90s. I'm sure that was probably a remnant of like life sims and not necessarily life sims, but like simulators in general, all the various sims. But it does feel very appropriate for Persona 4. Technically, the golden ending would be a very specific thing. I guess we're in the golden chapter, what have you, since there is more content. It's not the ending, but But yeah, so that's gonna be nice to get back into. We finished we finished what came before the golden chapter last time, and that was like a whole that was such a long stream. I think it was a little over 6 hours long. Was not expecting it to be that long. I should have, but I think I also definitely got ahead of myself because I was starting to take down the first of the two bosses, and I was like, oh, uh, uh, we we're getting through this pretty quickly and pretty easily and all of that. Like, it's not doing much damage to us. This should be fine. Took a little while, but we got there, and then phase 2 happens, and we're still able to for about 85% of the battle pretty trivially rack up damage and stay fully healed. And then it just that last sixth, it wasn't even like, oh man, this guy's kicking our ass. It's just like just enough damage is happening that I have to burn turns on healing or defense or Karns or something. And it just literally that last sliver was like 10 whole goddamn minutes. But it'd be hilarious if, since we did that on Christmas Eve, we miss a thing. I'm trying to recall. I want to say the stream ended with us on the 26th, if that means anything. If there was a Christmas Day thing, then I think we fully missed it. Because we spent that day reuniting with everybody and doing a kind of a whole thing there. And then the 26th seems to mostly be... It's hilarious how little fanfare there was with getting back into it, but let's see if the fest finale was long, but it wasn't. Answer, though, was almost 6 hours for the last stream as well. Yeah, I want to say I was having a lot of difficulty with the final encounter there. Yeah, you get a Christmas Eve date. I remember someone was folks have been mentioning that off and on a little bit, that there was like that. I think it was because I was asking at one point specifically, like, if I wind up going too far with social links and I have more than one girlfriend, does that cause any problems? And the answer seemed to be no, with the exception that Christmas gets awkward. So it seems like, granted, I also specifically didn't do that anyway, so we would have avoided that too. But it's so funny that Yumi is basically just doesn't exist as a character the moment we hit that social link of 10. Surprised he dragged it out for as long as dang possible. I mean, I wanted to get social links. My understanding, the way that it was described to me, and I don't know if this is accurate, was that when you do those bosses, it just zips you forward, essentially to Christmas when you're done. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to waste like 3 whole weeks of potential social links and grinding and quests and stuff. So I was like, all right, well, let's actually use that time. We'll do quests, we'll do grinding, we'll do fusions. Depending on where things go from here, I may wind up just going for 100% compendium. I might just go for it, honestly, because I'm already at like 77% at least. I might be close to 80 now. And the only reason I'm not fusing everything I see... Oh, you can't? Ah, damn it. Oh, right, because you need Social Link 10 for some of them. And at the very least, at absolute bare minimum, I know Adachi we don't have a 10 with, so that doesn't help. Complete all social links to get all compendium. You need to complete all social links to get all compendium, plus there's one new game plus only. Oh, as in, like, you can create a new game plus, but you can't then use that new game plus to create another new game plus after that? Oh, sorry. No, I'm misreading grammatically what you're saying. Holy shit. There's one new game plus only persona. Got it. That took me a second. I don't know why that was such a struggle for me. Yes, yeah, there we go. All right, well, depending on how close we get. Nah, probably not. I was going to say, like, maybe depending on how close we get, we'll have a bonus stream at the end that is just flying through social links and shit to get the ones that are missing, but that would take a while, and there's only so much that we'd be able to do without doing other social links, and that would just get very, very long and busy. So we'll probably just leave it where it is, and I'll just do that on my own time. I don't know. Be easier to do a quick new game plays. You think so? I guess I could skip cutscenes. I think. I'm sure that it probably does the sim thing of like, oh, you've seen this scene, but oh, actually no, it doesn't even need to be a sim thing because I did it by accident before. If you tap like start or the center button or something, it goes and then you can buy a level 90 persona. Holy shit! Dang. Oh my god. Yeah, there was definitely a button that you could do to skip through a bunch of dialogue, whether you'd seen the scene or not, because it happened during the main game already for a scene that I had not seen before. I was like, whoops, uh-oh. No level limit on buying things for the compendium. Oh. Okay. So what I'll probably do then is I'll just probably just keep growing Hachiman as much as I can. Or if the new game plus one is just an automatic, here's a level 90 dude that's in your compendium, then that could work too. I guess the biggest trick would be money, right? I'd have to actually have the cash for it. Which, granted, depending on how things go, I'd got to grind for it or something. I don't know if you keep your money, but if I keep my money, then it's no problem at all. But we'll see. We got at least a couple weeks before that comes up anyway. So stats, you get social links way faster. That's true. I don't have to worry about spending my nights, working or whatever. And you also do you keep your maxed out social links or no? I thought that someone had mentioned that was a thing that happened in 3, but I don't know if that's a thing in 4. It would make it faster, but I guess just having fewer obstacles in general means that even if you have to do them again, it's a lot quicker to get through them. So that'd be nice. I think there's only. I was about to say there's only the one. I guess I wouldn't know. Keep the absolutely fuse the ultimate persona, but not the actual completed social link. Okay. I think was there anyone that we did not initiate a social link with? The athletes count as one as far as I'm aware, and I think the social I think the social club one also does that. I don't know if that's true or if the other club has a completely different track altogether. There was one that we fucked up early enough that we can't advance it anymore, but I believe we did start it, which was the brother. I remember bothering to talk to Mitsuru on like the last week. Yes, I believe we started the young mother. I don't remember how we actually get to go do work. How we get to actually go work at the daycare though. How did we do that before? Because we did a bunch of that, and I don't remember how we advanced. I don't remember how we actually started that. I don't remember how we start the event each time. Or are you only allowed to have so many jobs at a time, and I left the daycare job? I don't know. Well, but yes, we did start that one. We actually got a little ways into it, I think. I think we got like 3 or 4 into that one. I would have to actually look at the list to know for sure, but yeah, the young mother we did start. Looking forward to the first rain, so I can actually fish up the River Guardian and we could go to the Sea Guardian and get that one taken care of at long last. It was sort of a bummer when the fog rolled in and it was like, sweet, so I cannot finish this until after we finish this entire goddamn chapter. Sweet. And then we missed one of the quests by like a day. Ugh, that was such a bummer. But that's all right. I'm not bummed about like not 100%ing, the game on my first try. Not a big deal. Oh What else am I missing here? Oh, I didn't mention Super Mystery Dungeon. We've been kind of taking a couple weeks off from that because I think I want to focus on getting Brilliant Diamond done. Uh, both of them were going to be weekend things anyway. So I think I want to get Brilliant Diamond finished first, and then we will come back to Super Mystery Dungeon and continue that as a weekend thing. Brilliant Diamond is actually quite close. I kind of jumped away from that very quickly. In episodes that have not gone up yet, essentially we're at the point where we are in the next episode we record. We're going to be taking on the Elite Four. So, and at that point, the list of things to do is very small. The gym leaders really were like the most time-consuming chunk of it, I think, just in terms of each one of them has such a specific set of stuff to be thinking about for their teams. The Elite Four, both the second and third takes of the Elite Four are going to involve that also, but I only get to really plan once. Like, I can buy some TMs and stuff to try to change my team out in the middle, but I don't know. We're going to have to see how that goes. Realistically, I should be buying a lot of X items. But yeah, Super Mystery Dungeon should be coming back once Brilliant Diamond is over, which I expect to be sometime in, probably sometime in May. It's possible that it happens in April, but I suspect it'll be May, but we should be back at that point. They're root teams, but at least they're still type themes. Yes, all except for Volkner, who seems to like barely pay like credit where credit's due. I like that he's not just all electric all the time. Just because I find that to be a little dull when that happens. But like neither his first nor second teams clung very tightly to the electric type and did some interesting variations there. So those are fun. Yeah. Stream things. We already talked about Ocarina. We've been talking about Persona. CJ and Felice. CJ is now into Hexen 2, and I have been chatting with him. We've got some plans for live intros. We got some plans for Resident Evil as well. Those should be going. I have all the VODs. They are all still alive. They're all still there. I know that they've been that both of them have been streaming a ton. Those are going up. I have all of them. None of them have been lost. And Felice continues with Cult of the Lamb. Both of those will be going up very, very soon. Hopefully within the next like 2-ish weeks, I'll be able to start getting VOD. Technically, a bunch of the VODs are online, but not the first episode of Hexen. As soon as that is done, they'll be there. Volker and Flint literally did not have enough guys in the Sinnoh decks for their DP teams. I guess that's fair. I suppose that's fair. But I would have imagined for the rematch team, they would reach out and like grab more. I guess at that point, part of their theming becomes that they're not entirely on type theme, but I suppose that's fair. Oh man. But yeah, I think that's about everything for right now. There's some other stuff in the works. Oh, I had mentioned before, there were no rematches in Diamond Pearl. Okay. Oh yeah, no, sorry. I'm talking about the rematches in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. The second one's here. Volkner at the very least still winds up reaching outside of his typing a little bit, which is funny. But yeah, like I said in the Patreon post, we're not talking anniversary stream just yet. There will be some news about that. There is a plan. There's a date. You guys will be hearing about that very, very soon. And for the next Hangout on the 18th, we will be talking about it. So just know that it's still a little ways away. And I'm very excited about the idea. The execution could be a little dicey, but I'm still excited to try. It's an idea that I've had for a long time, and I'm 100% sure that I'm not completely ready for what I would want to do for it. But we're gonna have some fun with it. It'll be a good time. But I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm going to start getting set up for the movie night. We got Treasure Planet, Muppet Treasure Island, and yeah, it'll be a good time. We kind of kept this one a little bit brief tonight. We started late. We're ending a little on the earlier side than normal. I just want to make sure that we're like ready to go. And a quick bio break, all that stuff. But yeah, no, I think I'm curious if the 7 o'clock time kind of does work for folks. I know there's only a few folks here for this one, but especially in the comments, if there's anybody who's watching VOD who would normally be here otherwise, please let me know if it doesn't work. I want to make sure that this is something that works reasonably well for everybody. I just want to make sure that we're not like flying through shit and then it's like, oh god, all right, time's up, we gotta go by, and then we're late to start the movies and stuff. And so trying to make it work, trying to figure out scheduling stuff in general. We have a lot of stuff going on, and I'm worried that it's getting a little crufty, just in terms of like, I do want to keep doing the hangouts in community nights, but it does also stop everything else. So I want to make sure that I'm not like overloading that a little bit. But for the time being, it seems like it's fine. I'm excited to keep doing Digimon nights. We got the next one in May. We're skipping April because April is going to be a busy month. I got a lot of stuff that I got to prepare, and it's going to be a good time. So yeah. So all right, I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you guys on the Discord. Anybody who wants to do this, with us live, then patreon.com/dpatfm. You can find out more there. I'll probably be updating a bunch of that stuff this coming week. And not any of the tiers. The tiers are going to stay the same, but presentation-wise, I think it needs a facelift. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to get out of here. See you in a few. Bye-bye.